Places from New York City.
I'm Jen.
And I'm Sarah.
And we're the Golden Broads of the Bay.
Welcome to our 7th review vlog. Number 7. Holy moly. This is the second show in our Broadway Binge 19. And our second show happens to be The Phantom of the Opera.
What?
That's right. We sat front row.
We sure did.
Which is a first for both of us. We're both repeat attenders of Phantom of the Opera. But we both had never seen it on Broadway.
Or been in the front row, so...
Right, exactly. And so we were filling our trip with shows, and pretty much the only matinee that we found was Phantom. And so that filled our Thursday matinee slot. So, and to be honest, it wasn't, it's a show we've seen before and a show that we've enjoyed in the past, but maybe we sort of felt like maybe we've outgrown it, or, it wasn't necessarily the highest one on our list of 8 that we're seeing this time. But to be honest, I don't know, I guess we were kind of wrong, because like the minute the show started, I was sort of transported to the 90s when the show had a residency in San Francisco at the Current Theater. And I myself attended quite a few times.
As did I.
Yeah, and that's
numerous times.
It sort of was like the theater, event to go to in the Bay Area in the 90s. And so it really kind of took me back there.
Absolutely. My mom saw it in London in the 80s and brought back a cassette.
Yes.
And
yes, she did.
and so I got hooked on it, and I was hooked on it ever since. So yes, Phantom holds a very special place in my heart. But again, just kind of over it. So wasn't thinking it was going to be something that was going to be high on the list, but again, boy, were we wrong.
Yeah, we really enjoyed it. So before we headed to these amazing front row seats that we got for how much?
$89.
$89, right? We stopped at the merch line, and Jenny
I got my pin, I got my magnet, and we were off to our seats.
Well, actually, yeah, we didn't get a beverage at this particular show because we stopped and had cocktails at Sardi's. Headed to our seats in the front row.
Yes, we did.
Which is always a treat because you're so close to the orchestra and you really get to watch them.
And with that show, that
particular show too.
That music to that show that is so great to be able to sit up in the front and listen, see that orchestra.
Another thing about sitting in the front row too was the chandelier. So if you've seen the show, you know exactly what we were talking about. If you haven't seen the show, I won't give it too much away, but I'll just say that to me, being that close, like in the past, back in the 90s, I was not sitting as close as I am in these days.
Right.
Sitting with my back against the, the back and the mezz, or the balcony. And this time sitting so close, the chandelier to me was less like a prop and more like a cast member. Like it was, it kind of blew me away. I remember like elbowing you and being like, it's right there.
And it was, you hit the nail on the head, Sarah. It was another cast member. I'm telling you, if you've seen it anywhere else, if you do need to see it on Broadway, because that chandelier, like it was
something else.
You're right. It was
so we'll go right into the technical stuff. So, lights and set and costumes and makeup and all that stuff. So, I mean, from the Phantom's Lair, to the opera costumes and the opera makeup.
The detail, and we were in the front row, and the detail,
the wigs, costumes, the girls, the ballerinas' wigs,
with those long curls.
So to me, I all I kept thinking was like, okay, Phantom of the Opera, they're actually celebrating their 31st anniversary
this weekend.
They've been around for a long time, so we're seeing on Broadway, and so we're seeing top-notch Broadway caliber. Production
on a Thursday afternoon. They're giving us top dollar.
Yeah, so technically the show I think is wonderful, that with all the trap doors and the candles coming up and the this and that. So technically, I think it's a spectacle to be seen.
It is.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's talk a little bit about some standout performances.
Okay.
So give me some of your standouts.
So mine, of course, she steals the show. She should, in every show she's in. But Carlotta, the Carlotta who played here, she was feisty, and they always are. But this one, she had a little spit to her.
I know,
it was something extra. So that was something cool to see. And she treated her, I forget the fellow's name, but she treated her male
counterpart.
He was just trash, just garbage. Just
and Carlotta was played by Raquel Suarez Groen.
Girl, and your opera. It was, you can tell she was making it not be as great, but you can tell she was, she was great, and the acting was great too. Yeah, she was great. Another one would be the two owners. They stole the show too.
They were, Laird McIntosh was Monsieur Andre, and Craig Bennett was Monsieur Firme. Those two guys were hilarious.
Good job at pronouncing that.
Oh, I tried. It's probably wrong, but we'll see.
Let
Let me know. Comment below. Did I hit the nail on that one? I don't know. We'll see. For me, the Madame Geary was really good.
Yeah, she was good.
I just love that part too in the show. It's just I really enjoy it.
She can command the stage by just
it's that whole fame, like boom, she hits that thing on the stage and everybody's like attention. So that was our standout performances and some standout moments for us. I know for you talked a little bit about the boat just coming into the lair.
Yeah, it was. I mean, again, seen it a million times, but to see that particular boat, they've updated it a little bit, made it a little bit more edgy. And it was really cool.
So we're at intermission, and we're thinking of you.
Thinking of you
fondly. I'm enjoying myself. We're sitting super close to the chandelier, almost hit us in the head, which was awesome.
Oh my god, it was.
Also,
I know we talked about this too, Masquerade.
Yeah.
Again, seen it a million times. They've removed the staircase from pretty much any tour that you're going to see, and they do not disappoint on Broadway. That staircase had extra people on it, and it was just the
I think both of us, as soon as that curtain moved, we both like. Yeah, we kind of started a round of applause for, we did. That was fun.
And the actors all gave us like thank yous.
Yeah, we got a little love for that.
Yeah, we did get a little.
For me, the standout moment was just the first time you see the Phantom's lair and that music and those candles and the fog and just, I was like, okay. I'm back in that little moment, you know what I mean? Yeah, it was
and they really
cool.
took me there. I have a sentimental reason, but wishing you were somehow here again. My mom, my mother, she attributes that to her father who's passed, and so that for me was very. I remember that was and they didn't spare any expense on that set either, and that is better. I think it was actually better than the movies or anything else that I've seen. And I gotta give props to.
Yeah, so Phantom, I mean, like we said, it wasn't, we were like, oh yeah, sure, we'll see Phantom, but we ended up leaving the theater really thrilled that we did it, you know? So we highly recommend Phantom. It's super affordable. I mean, it's probably the most affordable Broadway show that we're seeing on this trip. And so, you know, if you, and there's a lot of shows, right? You can see a Thursday matinee. There's not many shows that offer that. So we highly recommend it.
Yeah. I am curious, though, where have you seen Phantom of the Opera? Have you seen it? Did you see it in New York? Have you seen it in London? Or, I mean, it's in how many countries? And
it's been translated in so many different languages.
So just curious, comment below and let us know when or where you've seen Phantom. Because be interested to hear that.
Phantom of the Opera was an absolute wonderful start to our Day of Nostalgia show. So we're thrilled. So, all right, we'll see you around the theater.
Make sure that you like, subscribe, and comment below, and we'll see you on the other side.
All right, cheers.
Curtain.
So, we just got out of Phantom. Yeah.
I don't care what anybody says.
I know, me too. I mean, seriously,
it was worth so many memories.
Every penny, and nostalgic, and
the chandelier.
Yes, and it's at the Majestic, and that's exactly what it was. Majestic.
Phantom was great. I'm so glad we did it.
I cried my eyes out. Yeah, me too. Me too.
Think of me.
No regrets.